Today for Read Aloud, we're going to be reading Back on the Board, Bethany Hamilton from the USA. Go ahead and pause this video at this point and set your notebook up. Okay, we're going to go ahead and start the read aloud. This is Back on the Board, Bethany Hamilton. Have you ever heard the saying, when a horse bucks you off, get right back on and ride again? Have you ever been in a situation like that? Bethany Hamilton has. But for her, the horse was actually a surfboard. And instead of getting bucked off, a 14-foot-long tiger shark bit off her arm. Bethany was born on the north shore of Kauai, Hawaii, and started surfing before she could walk. She won her first surfing competition when she was 4. At the age of 7, she placed first in the 7 to 9 age division in both the short and longboard events at the Quicksilver Surfing Contest. In 2001, she won both the under 14 and under 17 girls divisions of the Volcom Pufferfish competition. Bethany was sponsored by Rip Curl, a surfboard company, and was making plans to become a professional surfer. She was a surfer girl, born to surfer parents, living in a surfer's paradise. What could be better? On Halloween morning of 2003, Bethany paddled into the waves of Makua Beach near her home with her best friend Alana and Alana's dad and brother. There was nothing unusual. Look at that prefix. We've talked about that before. There was nothing unusual about this. In fact, this is how Bethany spent most mornings. Usually, her mom and dad were there too, but Bethany's dad was scheduled for knee surgery that day and was already at the hospital. The sky was as clear as the water, and the waves were relatively gentle. Bethany surfed for about half an hour and caught maybe 10 waves. Everybody knew each other at Makua Beach, and Bethany, Alana, and about 8 other surfers chatted and joked as they straddled their boards in the gentle swells, waiting for the next set of waves to roll in. Bethany dangled her left arm in the water. From below, Bethany and her board must have looked like a lazy sea turtle, which many sharks enjoy eating for breakfast. The tiger shark rose out of the depths and tore into Bethany's board. "We never saw it or anything before it bit me," Bethany recalled. "It shook me. It lasted about 3 seconds long. All I saw was like a gray blur. It let go, and I just looked at the red blood in the water." The other surfers pushed Bethany to shore, and her best friend's dad tied a surfboard leash around what was left of her arm to help slow the bleeding. Alana noted that Bethany stayed really calm. As Bethany lay on the beach wrapped in towels, she was thinking, that ambulance should hurry up. It was 30 miles to the hospital. When the ambulance arrived there, doctors were preparing Bethany's dad for his knee surgery in the operating room. The doctors quickly went to work on Bethany instead of her father. Bethany lost 70% of her blood. She also lost her left arm, just below the shoulder. Bethany's surgeon said that without her athletic conditioning, she probably would have died. 2 weeks later, Bethany and her father both had their stitches removed. Her doctors were sure that the loss of an arm wouldn't hold Bethany back physically, but they warned that getting over the mental and emotional shock of a shark attack would be hard, maybe impossible. There's another prefix. Not possible. Though her wound healed within a month, her friends and family worried that Bethany might never again get back on her surfboard. Imagine what it must have been like for Bethany Hamilton to sit on her surfboard less than a month after her injury, waiting to catch that first wave. What do you think was going through her mind? Would you have been afraid if it had been you? Others wanted to give her a push to make sure she could still get up, but Bethany said, "I want to make sure I catch the first wave myself. Then they can help me." Finally, a good wave came by and Bethany paddled as hard as she could. When she felt the wave start to push her board, she jumped up and planted her feet wide. "When I got up on my first wave," she said, "I just had like tears of happiness. I was so stoked to be out there." But Bethany didn't stop with catching a wave or two. In the same year, she placed 5th in the National Surfing Championships. She competed against professionals with many more years of experience and both their arms. She also won an ESPN award for Best Comeback Athlete and a Special Courage Award for showing courage at the 2004 Teen Choice Awards. Most importantly to Bethany, she secured a spot on the U.S. surfing team. Since her injury and amazing recovery, Bethany has been featured in dozens of newspaper and magazine articles and has appeared on talk shows including 2020, Good Morning America, and The Oprah Winfrey Show. Bethany has also had her own website, www.bethanyhamilton.com. How has all the attention changed her? People I don't even know come up to me. I guess they see me as a symbol of courage and inspiration. One thing hasn't changed, and that's how I feel when I'm riding a wave. It's like, here I am. I'm still here. It's still me and my board. Okay, if you've made it to this part of the video, you can go ahead and pause, and before you take your notes over Bethany Hamilton, I want you to watch the documentary that's linked in Schoology first. So if you made it to the end of the video, you know that before you take your notes, go ahead and watch the video or the documentary that's linked underneath this video in Schoology so that you can have a little bit of a better understanding from Bethany herself, and you will be watching her documentary that is linked in Schoology.